السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل فأتوا بكتاب من عند الله هو أهدى منهما أتبعه إن كنتم صادقين فإن لم يستجيبوا لك فاعلم أنما يتبعون أهواءهم ومن أضل ممن اتبع هواه بغير هدى من الله إن الله لا يهدي القوم الظالمين. Allah says in Surah Al-Qasas regarding the people who they disputed with Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam about what the truth was from Allah and who was right or wasn't. And Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and Allah instructed Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam to respond in this way. He says, قُلْ فَأْتُوا بِكِتَابٍ مِّنْ عِنْدِ اللَّهِ. Say, then bring a scripture from Allah which is more guiding than either of them, that I may follow it if you should be truthful. So Allah is instructing Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam to say, okay, you bring the scripture, you bring the dalil, you bring the proof from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and then if you do that and it is stronger evidence than what we have, then we will follow it if you're truthful. And Allah says in the next ayah, فَإِن لَمْ يَسْتَجِيبُوا لَكَ, but if they don't respond to you, فَاعْلَمْ أَنَّمَا يَتَّبِعُونَ أَهْوَاءَهُم, then know for sure that they only follow their own desires. وَمَنْ أَضَلُّ مِمَّنِ اتَّبَعَ هَوَاهُ بِغَيْرِ هُدًى مِنَ اللَّهِ, and who's worse, who is more astray than the one who follows his desires without guidance from Allah. And Allah says, إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يَهْدِي الْقَوْمَ الظَّالِمِينَ. Allah doesn't guide the wrongdoing people. So just like Allah says to Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, we are going to follow the example, not the example of a random man or some person or a family member or someone who looks like us or someone who we just admire. No, we're going to follow the example of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Bring the proof from Allah and His Messenger for the support for what you're claiming. And it's yet to happen. And if it doesn't happen, then we say what Allah said to Rasulullah. If they don't do it, and it hasn't yet, if they don't do it, then you're just following your own desires. And Allah says no one is more astray than a person who follows their own desires instead of the guidance from Allah. And Allah says He'll never guide those people. Inna Allah la yahdi al-qawm al-zalimin. He's never going to guide a people who are wrongdoers in that way. So may Allah allow us to be of the people who hear the guidance from Allah and His Messenger and follow it, and not be the people who Allah is talking about, in which they hear the guidance from Allah and they reject it, or they refuse to produce that evidence from Allah and His Messenger, even though they know where it can be found. So may Allah protect us from misguidance and where it leads. Ameen. Tafadhal, Shaykh.
After you muted.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Welcome to the R2F show. It's the R2F show / pop-up. We have some important things to cover. And we'll just get right into it so we can maximize our time. So a lot of people don't do we have the first one, the most wanted one that we can bring up first?
Yes, 1 second, Jaffa. Just talking.
Yeah, so we receive a lot of different communications and engagements behind the scenes. We don't address all of them, but we have to address the ones that we think puts our people, whether it's R2F members or people that R2F supporters, associates, or anything at risk. So we have to address this. We have to put it out there. We will be contacting the authorities, just like we contacted authorities when Hussein Adams issued the threat to have people come and smack us and do stuff to us and all that. So we will be addressing it that way. But we're also going to address it on our show so people could see that this is 100% stereotypical cult behavior. This is what they do, right? We've been doing this show for what is it, over a year now, like going on to a whole year we've been doing this show. We've been speaking out and putting out guidance and different things, challenges for 4 years now. Not one person has defended the beliefs, the statements, the actions of Mubarak Jelani or TMOA, but this is their defense, right? That they issue these threats, they come behind anonymous names, anonymous accounts, they make up stuff, they issue fraudulent cease and desist orders. This is the tactics that they do, right? And this should show you, all of you TMOA members, that this is what y'all got. This is the best that y'all can provide. And we've been telling you this, that there's actually no defense to what you guys believe in. There's no defense to the actions that you guys commit. There's absolutely no defense. So what you do is, when you don't have a defense, right? When you have nothing to stand on, just like a wounded animal that's, trapped in the corner, right? I just heard a video that it was talking about a quote by Putin, but I forget the source, but he was talking about how him and his friends used to go around killing rats as like a hobby, right? In Russia. And he was chasing a rat down an alley until the rat got into a corner and then felt it was trapped. And then the rat turned around and started attacking him. And then he was running around trying to get away from it. This is literally what TMOA is doing, is they're injured rats stuck in a corner, and this is their way of trying to lash out. Except we aren't running away. We're standing right there, chopping down every single rat that pops up. So this was issued or put out, spread around to various connections of R2F. Maybe it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yep.
And if you look at it, it's a most wanted poster. So right there, there's the alluding to a threat that these people are most wanted, right? And it has a picture of Amr, who now he's number 1 most wanted, I guess. Mubarak's number 2. Me and Hanif fell to 3 and 4. What can you say? Hussein up on number 4, and then Kawi Griffin, aka he's the only one that got a nickname, Captain Fitrah, right? And they hung this poster up somewhere, which we suspect that they went to some place, some bulletin board, pinned it up there real quick, took a picture, and then pulled it down. And if I'll just read what it says we're all fasty clean, and it says, be warned of the wrath of Allah if you do not cease and desist. Mr. Cease and Desist again. He loves this phrase. It's the same. We think it's the same guy who issued the fake cease and desist, William Reed, aka Aqil with no aql. And he says, repent and reform yourselves. It says, warning, the people above are open violators of Allah, to Allah's laws. They're fasiqeen, and some are sons of fasiqeen. The group has a history of breaching their oaths to Allah, fornication, adultery, womanizing, drinking, drug abuse. I can't, broke off. Yeah, go ahead. Read the rest.
Being informants of the Muslim Brothers and associating with people who are who also perpetrate these crimes, all the while projecting themselves as righteous people. If you see any one of them, take caution of their sly tongues and I guess hearts or something. Some of their accomplices are Abdul Sabor, Lawrence Whitley Nadim, and many more. To confirm these facts. So to confirm these facts, you have to email us, right? Like you're gonna email us and we're gonna tell you the truth. It's like, oh well, none of that is true. First of all, you didn't even spell my name properly, but I'm hurt. At least get my name properly spelled, man. Like, God dang, y'all not lazy.
And you could tell it was done by someone that's not really technology proficient. That's most likely someone that's older. They took like the worst pictures, unless that was done on purpose. And these are these silly tactics. These don't work. You have to stop. If this is William Reed, which we think it is, and we would like to hear him deny that it's not him, stop. Please, you should have learned when you issued us your fake cease and desist letter from your alleged judge in this lawsuit, your fake copyright claim. So that was issued a few weeks ago. We didn't put much into it. We just notified the people that were in the letter because these are the types of things that could incite some idiot in TMOA to try to do something like, oh, these guys are the most wanted. But then you fast forward to, I guess it was within yesterday or today that, we have our R2F event coming up, which is this Saturday. We have all the information out there. If you can make it $20 per adult. And
Kids are free.
Kids are free. There's gonna be food. It's gonna be semi-formal. We're gonna have a few speakers. We're gonna have a Dar Slam panel where we're gonna get to ask some questions, and we're gonna play games, get to know each other, hang out, and nice informal, semi-formal event. But just so happens somebody sent a letter to the venue that we rented out to actually host the event, and what could only be seen as an attempt to try to get them to cancel us or not let them use the venue, right? And then this is what they sent in the letter.
This is the first time I read this. I assumed it was a joke because everything is really a joke at this point. Because this is a response. So listening to this headline though, it says R2F, the missing link between the Darul Islam movement and the American Taliban. Like what a what a reach, right? Like the American Taliban have been working around the clock to bring about false accusations to move the U.S. government against its own citizens, the American Muslims, projecting them as enemies, giving leverage to the American authorities that would one day justify bringing out their agents to attack and gun them down as terrorists. Like that is that is a strong claim. Like R2F, we are the, like, how like scientists have like the missing link between like apes and humans, the Homo sapiens link, like that's gone. But now we are the missing link from that to that. Like, how much of a reach that is. And then he goes into a whole soliloquy, and we can send this out after. But there was a whole lot of just bogus BS claims in here. Some claims of Bidda, some claims of Shirk, all while telling us that we're wrong, but not giving us any reasons why we're wrong. Just saying you guys are wrong. And I'm not here to converse with y'all about why you're wrong. Like, well, what's the point of this? And then you have the fake stamps of like, oh, the the NSA,
that
CIA,
was the best part of this,
and the FBI. like, damn. So, wait, I forgot one thing. He says that Joffrey is an informant because he knows informants. He's like, how can you claim to know the informants but not be an informant yourself? Listen, I know everyone on the Lakers. I'm not a freaking Lakers player. That's not how it works.
Hold up, but by his own logic, he himself is an informant.
Exactly. You have the whole like, government right here.
Is an informant.
Well, look, if anybody, first, I know of a informant that is not an informant to any like government agency, right? So I know of one. And two, if anybody's watched any like law enforcement movie or show, you know that like informants don't know of each other. Like they keep everybody's secret from each other. They're like, oh yeah, so-and-so's an informant and so-and-so's informant. It's like this crew of informants. And what are we informing on? We put everything on YouTube. What's the big secret? What
I'm about to say,
I don't get it. If I was an informant, I'd still be in TMOA undercover, right? That's what informants do.
Yeah.
And what is it? So we're informing who about what exactly? About a group that you've been kicked out of. I mean, as far as William Reed, you're not. I mean, some of these people that you're not even good enough to be part of this group that you're defending so hard. I mean, they don't even want your raggedy behind, and you're look. I mean, look. You probably spent hours making this fake ass document. I mean, you putting these stamps on there or whatever, and you're probably real proud of yourself.
Just for us to clown it. That's tough.
I mean,
Well, he did put a lot of work into it, because if you look at this, and if you have anybody has any like experience with like creating documents, what he did, each column is a photocopy of something. Like he basically lined up stuff on a paper, because you see how they're all uneven, and photocopied 3 separate documents all on here to make this document. So you could tell it's somebody that's older, and all the language lines up exactly with what William Reed has been saying from the beginning.
He was probably doing this
law
at work.
enforcement. Yeah, it's this all smells of William Reed. So William Reed, if you're listening, we believe it's you. And until you say it's not you, and well, even if you do say it's not you, I mean, the bottom line is, like Mubarak said, these people don't give 2 craps about you. So when this actually gets reported to law enforcement, and then they're looking at you're actually kind of impersonating a government official, 3 different agencies that you're trying to represent on this document, and if there's any legal ramifications that come from this, TMWA is going to laugh like, oh yeah, see you later. We don't know nothing about this guy. They're not going to back you up. They're going to let you go right down the drain and face whatever consequences that you have to face, or whoever created this document.
This thing says both have produced lie after lie. So we're talking about us, R2F, and CAN, Christian Action Network. He says both have produced lie after lie, taking clips of Sheikh Jilani and twisting and distorting his works and teachings. There is no distorting. If you don't fear law, fear me. That is a straight. There's no like prior context, after, before, later, in the future. No. After you say those words, it's not a joke. That's serious. That is not distorted. Everyone in the Jamaat heard that. And also, if you're not part of the Jamaat, you're going to hell. So if you're not part of the Jamaat, William Reed, guess what? According to the person you're defending so heavy with such a stern grip on it, you aren't part of his Jamaat. So technically, you're going to hell. This is the person you want to defend.
Yep. And then it's so many wrong things in this. It's just ridiculous.
Maybe he thought that if he produced this document, or maybe we're like his ticket back in. You know what I mean? He took down R2F, and now they're gonna, he's basically gonna be anointed, and come back with open arms and a new title. And maybe give him a new wife or something. I mean, maybe he's thinking that this will be a all for one type of deal. But yeah, I'm sorry to inform you. I mean, I'll just tell you straight up. Number one, we're not working for anyone. I mean, we're all employed. We have jobs and professions, and
I'm working right now.
That we do. So and this is literally not something that we are paid for. Wallahi, I wish I could be paid for it.
Same.
I would be doing a show every night. Every night there would be a show. Unfortunately, I don't get paid for it. So we do it in our free time. And sometimes it ain't even our free time. Sometimes we do it when we should actually be doing other things. But the point is, we are not working for anyone. We don't get paid by anyone. We're not working with anyone. We're not working for or with anyone. The only people I will admit, I work with Amr and Jaffer and a few other people that are in R2F. But as far as any government agencies or anything else, we don't. So you can save it. You can stop lying to people. You can stop trying to use it as some sort of ploy to get into good graces with TMWA. Jelani's already dead. The leadership now, they do not care actually about you at all. I mean, they're off, doing other things. So just save it. I mean, you really can put this joint to bed. You won't probably, but still, just so that you can, if you even know how to make a clip of this, you can take the clip where we're saying, we don't work for anyone. So stop wasting your time and just play it on a loop, as you work out or whatever to motivate yourself, whatever. I don't know. But that's it.
I'm wondering the logic behind we're working for a government agency, and then he puts fictitious government agency labels on the document to pose as a government agency document. And then the same government agencies that we allegedly work for, TMOA invites these same people to their retreats. So what are you exactly saying? Is America out here to destroy TMOA, or do they really just don't care about them because they even go to your retreats and give speeches and shake hands with the the Muslim Boy Scouts that are 40 years old. You know, this is what they do. But at the same time, they're plotting with R2F, like, yeah, let's take them down. Let's take them down. Come, and then you pose as the same government agency to send this letter to the facility that's hosting our event. You are a very confused man. Very confused.
Okay, so we need to cover this because he says this here, which is okay. So he says, now you can tender to slander and lie about Sheikh Jilani, a descendant of the Holy Messenger, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and a wali sent by him to guide the people, and you think you will get away with all this? That is, listen, that's thing, like that's just sent off signals in your head. This person's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, if anyone, like, it's not even just, okay, sure, you guys don't trust R2F. Read this statement right here to any regular Muslim in the world. Oh, wow, that's like, are you okay, brother? Are you possessed? Like, what's wrong with you? That's not a Islamic statement to say. This person sent.
It's a clear threat. It's a clear threat. I mean, he says it. This is a warning to R2F. This is a warning to all the collaborators, and this is why we have to address it, because, you know, we talk about this in our chat groups. Is that eventually what happens? You know, is people will feel so at a loss, that they might resort to violence. And people on the TMOA side have already acknowledged that, because they tried to reach out to us to get us to stop talking so that TMOA doesn't attack us, right? Uncle, what is it? Uncle Abdul Sabor, or it's not Abdul Sabor, is it? Abdul Jabbar, yeah. I want you guys to stop talking about TMOA, so no one from TMOA will commit violence against y'all. Why don't you talk to TMOA people? But this is the risk, is that, and it'll be some coward or someone like a William Reed who's aiming for some way to get respected or get some clout, get back in the Jamaat, that'll do something, and they'll do something to somebody that's not even really connected to R2F, someone that might have been on our page and liked the video or made a comment supporting us. And that's what they'll do it, because straight up, this is our position from R2F. We have no qualms about saying it. We don't want to incite anybody to try to commit violence, but these type of people, the people that are behind putting together documents like this, these anonymous people, you are a coward. You are a coward. One more time. We're supposed to sometimes to repeat things that are important. You and everyone else that had anything to do with this are cowards. Straight up and down. Don't have any questions about it. When you look in the mirror, write coward in the mirror so that when you see yourself, you know that you are a coward.
And not only just a coward, but a stupid coward. I mean, you're not even a smart one. I mean, I can see a person who is intelligent, but they're just not brave. They're just a coward. You couldn't even put together even a believable document. I mean, you're even trying to put address here to try to throw off the trail. I mean, you're not even smart enough to know that when you mail something, you can track exactly where you mailed it from, even if you put some random address on there. You probably didn't know that, Bill, or whatever your name is, a Kill Bill, a Kill Bill. I mean, you gotta stop this, man. I mean, he's got to be old enough to be all of our granddad. You got to stop this, man. You got to stop. I mean, there's got to be something else at the Islamic Studies Guild or whatever. I'm pretty sure you got some papers to grade or some fabricated hadiths to embellish or something. I mean, there's something you could be doing.
Wait. We have to cover this too. Jaffer is being paid by the Wahhabis, all right? And Mubarak and I have not got a dime. Like, this came to... About a week ago, we were informed, Mubarak and I, that Jaffer's been paid, according to the ISG and all the studies and research they've done, Jaffer's being paid here money, and Mubarak and I are going penniless. We didn't have payment, Jaffer. We didn't get a reimbursement.
This is the same guy that put out that he had the proof, right? He put proof that R2F is working for whatever, and had a link to Fatima Jelani's video
saying R2F is
really? This your proof?
Oh my god!
Yeah, you know what, man? This is somebody's grandpa probably. And you know, he's obviously confused. He obviously is confused. There's probably some dementia has set in. He probably is not all there. I mean, this man has got us mixed with, well, 1 week we're Wahhabi funded, super Salafis, Wahhabis, haters of Ahlul Bayt. And then on the next week, this week, we're American Taliban, those two
Don't mix.
those two really are actually probably on opposite ends of the spectrum as far as like they wouldn't mix. They wouldn't mix. The Taliban is going to be from like most like a Deobandi background, and then you have the what they would consider Wahhabis, the hardcore super duper Salafi Wahhabis or whatever we don't want to say. They are going to be anti Deobandi. They're gonna have a completely different approach. So they're not going to be. They both wouldn't be funding us. Put it this way. They definitely wouldn't be funding us. And if we were Taliban, they wouldn't be dealing with us. They actually would probably consider us to have a corrupt aqidah, most likely. So you need to get your deviant Muslim jihadi groups worked out before, and pick one and put us on a label, because it makes
we're part of the Christian Action Network too.
Yeah,
Christians now too.
And we're working with the Christian Action Network.
We are versatile, man. Oh my God.
Yo, ultimate double agents. Like, we are working with everybody. We're gonna give Juma on the land next week too. Work for everybody. But go ahead.
But the point is this, really. The reason why you're cowards is because in all this time, you see our faces every week. We really are not. We're not mincing our words. We're not hiding our words. We are not pretending. We're not pretending to be. One second. We're not pretending to be anything else. If you ask us questions, we'll answer them face to face, on video, Zoom, phone call, whatever. And you can't even take the time, effort, energy, or whatever, if you feel so strongly about defending your Murshid Kamil or your community, which you were thrown out grabbed by the scruff of the neck and tossed out, okay? Or do any of those things. You're so passionate about it, but you can't even be like, okay, I am going to make a video response. I'll go on that show and defend our position according to the Quran and the Sunnah, like you allege that you did, but you didn't do. Yeah. You can't even do that. This is why you're a coward. And the person who's helping you, he's also a coward too. He's also a coward too. I don't care how well respected in the community or whatever. I don't care who you're connected to. You're a coward, man. You're a coward if you can't even put your name. What are you afraid of now? I can see before you thought maybe Jelani would have somebody come and kill you. I mean, as far as we know, Nora doesn't have people killed yet. You're really just coward. You're just scared of nothing. You're really not even scared of anything real. You're not even then. I could see a hitman could come and take you out. Right now, you're just a coward, just of your own shadow. That's it.
You can't even get kicked out of the gym. You can't get kicked out of the gym. Like some people are afraid of that because they don't want to speak out because Noran will kick them out. Like some individuals have gotten kicked out just for like even sending us a message. But you're already kicked out. You literally have nothing to lose. According to your sheikh, you're going to hell. You have nothing to lose. You might as well come on our show. You can be a weekly guest.
No, our show is tainted. Our show is tainted. No one wants to come on our show. Our show is tainted. But then if we offer you to make your own show, it's what's the point in doing that?
I mean, it's the same thing all the time. I mean, even in like that fake flyer he came up with, they make all these accusations like you're lying on our sheikh, you're doing slander, and then all you have to do is ask one question, and it always stumps them. Okay, how did I lie?
Exactly.
Where's the slander? And they never have an answer, and when they do have an answer, it just shows how wrong they are. And it's the same thing over and over. Even just like earlier this week, these like sideline defenders were like sending around this video of that Sufi sheikh.
Oh yeah,
just saying completely wrong stuff. As like, oh yeah, we got him now. Oh, let's send this around, and they can't even like recognize all the stuff, the stuff that is contradictory to basic Islam that he was saying in there, just because they only heard one thing that supported what they wanted to believe. That's it. You know, but hopefully people can see this stuff, and you people that are on the fringes, this is what you're hanging on to. This is the community. This is the underbelly of TMOA. This is what this is how they really defend the Quran and the Sunnah, allegedly. They only defend their sheikh. They come from the shadows, anonymous, cowardly, false information, lies, attacks. They're literally doing the things that they're accusing us of. So, I guess, do anything else you want to add to that before we move to the fake school?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think we can get right into the theological college. Okay.
Theological college.
So about like 2 days ago, I was just snooping around on the internet, right? And I was like, I wonder what's going on with the theological college, IQOU, right? And so I came across their website, alhamdulillah. And actually, listen, I give props where it's due. The website's surprisingly very, very well made. They did a good job on certain parts. Other parts, not so much, right? And so we covered this last week, I believe. Them raising another 100K, or trying to. They have 21 days left. They only have 4K. Tough.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Nora gave $1,000, so that's
big money.
Give $1,000 of your money to the school for her.
She gave $1,000 of your money back to herself.
To her, exactly. Thank you. So I found this website, all right, and this IQU, which K2 isn't trying to be a part of it anymore. As you can see here, they caught them out of the photo because they're like, don't put me on here. I'm official now. So smart on him.
Cut him right out.
Yeah. So I signed up for their thing. It's my number. You want to call me? I'll be happy to ask questions. And then we found the course handbook, which I have downloaded, which is right here. But before that, we have where is your freaking staff at? Hold on.
Yeah, go to their staff. About us. Oh, that's the lighthouse. Oh, there you go. Yep.
Okay. Wait, no, there's like more. They only have, so before they had more people on the staff, right? And when you read the bio,
you got to go to the IQOU. Is this the IQOU page?
Oh no, it's Lighthouse. Yikes! All right, hold on.
Yeah, so that's a scam too, by the way. Anyway,
yeah,
there's still many of them. Okay, hold on.
Yeah, we got a couple of different little setups there. All of them is fraudulent scam setup drones.
Yeah. I think the one thing on the flyer said that donate your zakat. Does zakat eligible to donate to their school, which is schools aren't a zakat eligible
Academy? Hold on.
Thing.
Hold on.
They got a new thing going on.
You got a new thing, right? We just
oh my god!
Breaking news.
Breaking live on air. Oh my god!
Yo, what is Nora? Is this the academy for her son? Does this have to be the
Nora's academy?
This is the academy for her son that dropped out. Oh, they don't even have information about it, but it was established 2020. So I mean, anyway.
Oh gosh. But yeah, they had on there that they're a 501(c), which we confirmed that they're not registered as a 501(c). They're registered as a corporation, right? That actually has shares, which is in one of the shareholders is Noor, of course. So they are a for-profit organization.
Yep.
And you can't, here's their staff. You cannot zakat cannot go to schools or theological colleges.
Zakat is for, and seriously, zakat is for there's a few specific categories, and it's for the indigent, the people who are at a certain poverty level, and it goes towards their food, clothing, and shelter first and foremost. And even if you can be providing the best education in the world, Islamic education, if the person doesn't have food at home, it won't matter. So the point is, zakat is for that, and it's not for education. So you cannot just say it's zakat eligible. And so for anyone who's thinking, well, I'm going to donate to Noor's pocketbook, business ventures, school, scholarship fund, I'm going to donate to her scholarship fund, and that way it'll cover my zakat. It won't. So take your zakat, hang on to it, look for people in your own community who are in need of help, and there's probably someone within a stone's throw of you if you live on the land, or definitely you can do a little bit of research and can find someone or families or groups or people that you can give to that actually would satisfy the requirements of zakat and would free that obligation as a Muslim from you. But donating your zakat money to this project run by Noor will not do it. You will still owe it.
And what's the zakat? It's 2.5%, right? Of your
Yeah, 2.5% of your wealth if it's over a certain amount.
So would $5 million count as over the required amount to pay zakat?
It is well over. It is well over. And if we want to, should we
that's
run
$125,000 that Noor would have to pay if just donate your $125,000 right there. You got your money, Noor.
Yeah, I wonder. I bet you. Yeah, listen. Where is she paying that zakat money on on it too? I guarantee you. And listen, you TMOA people, y'all be on the lookout. It's gonna be hard for that 125K to just be given on the low to here or there or to a family or two or whatever. That's a lot of money for your community. And if you don't see it flooding into somewhere, you don't see somebody with a dilapidated trailer all of a sudden get a double wide, or if you don't see somebody who didn't have transportation or something all of a sudden come up a little bit, you're like, wow, okay, mashallah, what happened? Oh, somebody rich in the Jamaat paid their zakat, and I was able to actually meet my needs of daily living. If you don't see that happening, then no, Noor still got the money in her pocket, and she's not even paying her zakat. Your spiritual leader. Yep. So keep on the lookout for it. It's been over a year, by the way. It's been over a year, so that money should have already been kicked out. You should be getting close to round two of that zakat money hitting the Jamaat coffers. But Allah knows best. Maybe she did it already. May Allah bless her if she did. But still, actually, I'm pretty sure that some of the family members of Jelani are still looking for their money. We're not going to mention them because they're old news now, but still. So she probably should go ahead and break them off their money while she's at it. While she's paying her zakat on that money, go ahead and give them their share while you're at it. Sorry for that.
No, you're good. So the thing is with these staff, which we looked at their bios, and we're talking about an Islamic theological college. So you would be looking for people that are
Islamically
inclined, have Islamic pedigree, PhDs, at least master's degrees, at least bachelor's degrees, and Islamic degrees from accredited institutions, right? This is what you'd be looking for. Even on our flyer, they said we have Azhari scholars, right? But you look at the president and you view her bio, and she allegedly has a master's degree in film directing and public administration. So nothing Islamically, nothing, that says she's a scholar in Islam, nothing. And more importantly, you'll see that none of these people say that they are students of Mubarak Jilani, the alleged sixth sultan and greatest scholar that was of the century. Not a single person says it.
Yes, the Mujaddid of the century. The Mujaddid of the century, the foremost person on the planet Earth, at least as they believe. May my Murshid live forever, all that stuff, that's him. And they don't even, spoiler alert, none of them are going to mention him in their bios as having learned anything, not even to tie their shoe. I mean, nothing. Yep. They don't claim any information or knowledge or anything useful from him. She has, hold up, how is she the president? Now, if this is the president of the theological college, by the way, IQOU, this is the thing that's crazy. IQOU International, this is what it originally stood for. They're trying to
rebranded,
quietly
Yeah.
distanced themselves from Giuliani.
Mhm.
They're trying to scoot away from him, but also at the same time trying to kind of keep UTMOA people thinking that they're not. IQOU.
Yeah.
That was his scam, original scam. International Quranic Open University. They kept the IQOU. They tried some other stuff. Now the latest rendition is theological college that they put on the end of it. They don't mention him at all in her bio. By the way, she's your sheikha, right? She's your leader, right? She's your spiritual guide now, right? What in this bio lets you know that she's a spiritual guide of any kind?
Yep.
She can spiritually guide you into making a great video, it seems.
Or a successful international retail business started with other people's money. She could teach you how to do that. And you know how you can tell this is bullcrap, because unless it's just badly, which could be either way, but it's probably both. When you say you got a master's degree in something, I have a master's degree from so-and-so university. She holds 2 master's degrees from a university that she does not care to mention.
Yes.
It's bullcrap, straight bullcrap.
Yeah. From what university? From what? Yeah, good catch. Because I actually was gonna give it a bit of a doubt, because from some of the people that I know in Pakistan, they say if you got a little bit of money, you can buy any degree that you want. You can buy the certificate and it'll say that, and you can be like, "Yo, I got this junk." Now, if they check the database or whatever, you might be out of luck. But you can basically be like, "Yo, I got a degree in physics or rocket science or whatever." You could make the joint up, and somebody somewhere can dial that joint up for you. But the point is that she doesn't even mention the university that she went to. Is alarming, especially if they are trying to show you that they are a legit university. That this is, they show, usually universities show you their bios of their staff and faculty to instill confidence in you that these people have learned and educated from other prestigious universities or whatever, and that you can be sure that you're getting a quality education from them. Exactly. And the president can't even name where they got their degrees that are not even related to what they're trying to teach you.
Yep. Like, imagine me trying to start a theological college, R2F theological college, right? And I'm like, yeah, I got a master's in accounting. I'm the president of this joint. We're gonna have to teach you all about Islam. But wait, you got an accounting? Where's your degrees from Islamic University? That's the first thing everybody's gonna ask for. And if you go to the other bios, like if you go to the other ones are just the same. Like you have the females, the other women on there that are they have their bios, but then you have Hassan Ali, he's one of these people that they're claiming is a graduate of Azhar, which I don't believe he graduated from Azhar. Qasim Wasi, I don't believe he graduated from Azhar.
It just says coming soon for Hafiz Hassan Ali. Qasim Wasi, listen, Qasim, we both know you didn't graduate from Azhar. All right, we both know you. If you did, mashallah. But from what I know, Qasim, you listen. We're not gonna get into this, but something else.
Alima Dordana, she's last I knew she was still attending Azhar. Maybe she graduated by now. I don't know.
The fact that these joints are blank tells you one thing.
Soon.
It tells you one thing for sure: they have not graduated. And guess what? If they do produce some certificate or say they graduate or whatever, we will congratulate you on the show.
Mashallah.
But right now, y'all didn't graduate from nowhere.
Yeah.
And I will retract that statement if you do produce something. But from right now, y'all didn't graduate from nowhere. And the proof is the fact that your bio is blank. It's blank. And on top of that, the new semester for almost every university in the world starts in August to September, somewhere around there. Usually by September 1st, the semester starts.
Yep.
Graduations are in December at the end of the month, at the end of the year or whatever. And then there's another graduation, usually 2 times a year, December, January-ish, and then May, or towards right before summer starts, basically. So if you haven't graduated already, you're not going to graduate until the end of the next semester, which is going to be December. Right. So maybe they're thinking, okay, coming soon, and hoping that these people will graduate in December. Maybe. Yeah. We'll be on the lookout. But
either way, because one of the things is that we're going to put this a separate title on this video, and we really want to talk to people that have no idea of what IQOU is and who it's associated with. So IQOU Theological College, for those of you who do not know, is associated with the cult group of TMOA, which are followers of the deviant cult leader Sheikh Mubarak Jelani. And we're going to get into their syllabus and their course things and talk about some of the things. But even if any of these people graduate from Eshart University, they are not reliable teachers of Islam, because they still adhere to and they are promoting the false teachings of a deviant, fraudulent hack of a sheikh, Mubarak Jelani. And we went through their course listings, and we found that, like, if we could pull that up.
Wait.
Go ahead.
There's one thing that this is just very well known. If you've ever been to any college, right? Generally, right, when you go see the staff, and they have their Facebook, Twitter, whatever the hell, right? Generally, their LinkedIn, right? When you click on the LinkedIn for their stuff, it takes you to their LinkedIn. So okay, so let's say that Zainab Adams here graduated with her 2 degrees, right? She would have a LinkedIn here. Instead of it just leading to freaking Wix.com, it would be her LinkedIn telling you every place that she's ever worked at, her background, her credentials, and this would be applied for everyone. When you go to their links, all of it just goes to Wix.com. Like, you guys are even lazy on that part. You could even just like fraudulate. Like, you could go on LinkedIn right now and just lie. It's like, okay,
it's a quick money grab. It's sloppy. Let me share my screen real quick.
Okay.
Let me see how let me do that. Let me share my screen. I'm going to pull up, because I attend Islamic University, alhamdulillah. And let's see. Let me know when you guys can see my screen.
See your screen.
Yeah, I can see.
Okay. So I go to Guidance College. They're based in Texas, right? And they're not accredited yet, but they're going through the accreditation process. But it's for Islamically like degrees. We don't really care about American accreditation. We care about Islamic accreditation. So that's not really a big thing. But you go to the website, and let's see. Like, we'll go to About, and we'll go to the Board of Trustees. Who's on the Board of Trustees? Chairman Dr. Mike Rabi. How do I slow my thing down? Okay. And then you have Secretary Dr. Nidal Zidat, Dr. Amr Al-Bakri, Dr. Amy Barnhill, Dr. Mona Yunus. That's just the Board of Trustees. Let's go to the president. About the president, Dr. Main Al-Quda brings a global perspective. He spent his formative years in Saudi Arabia and Jordan. Dr. Al-Quda received his advanced degrees in Egypt, Jordan, and the United States, known in his Sharia compliant financing. Let's see. Whatever else he has. Let's go to the staff. Faculty directory. Dr. Main Al-Quda, Dr. Ahmed Khatir, Dr. Noor Mubin, Dr. Shakir Ullah, Dr. Saivis Asadi, Dr. Master's degree. Well, this one will have a doctor, adjunct faculty. So look at all the doctors, and let's just pull one up. He's one of my, I like him, so we'll pull him up. Let's see. Let's learn more about Dr. Muhammad Haq. Pull up, dividing his time between Texas and Alabama. Dr. Haq brings more than 32 years of experience in Islamic studies, the study of comparative world religions, Islamic theology, and Quran exegesis. Additionally, Dr. Haq is a regular contributor of the faith page of the Aniston Star. So, like, these, when you go to, like, there's so many reliable, qualified, established Islamic institutions, online institutions that you can go to and learn your deen without being stuck in this falsehood of TMOA and wasting your time and money. Like, we were going through the student handbook, And there was a clause in there that literally said, yeah, if we don't finish school, then too bad, you don't get your money back. Like, who puts that in a handbook?
Yeah. And I mean, why even waste your time learning from? First of all, they can't even finish their bio. You can't even really honestly say that you're learning from any people who know more than you do. Right. I mean, so that's number one. Number two is they're offering, the chance to receive a bachelor's degree. Well, none of them even have bachelor's degrees, so they can't give you one. I mean, they don't have them themselves. And certainly not in Islamic studies. And they don't even have not even one scholar, shuyukh, usually, there's someone like on the advisory board or, nothing, nobody. They can't even name their alleged Murshid Kamil, Mujaddid Center. They won't even name him. So, come on, this is a joke. Don't even take it seriously. The people, they're literally just looking for a way to, number one, they know by their actions and by their omission that Jilani was a fraud and is a scam artist, and they're trying to distance themselves from them, and they're trying to do their own scam, right? And so instead of just being a legit people and actually produce some graduates, make some connections, or direct people to actual universities that are beneficial, instead of trying to make your own made up university where you're going to try to charge people to watch a couple of old DVDs of Jilani possibly, or the genealogy series. You're going to teach that's part of a class, the genealogy. The video's on YouTube and it's full of shirk. It's full of deviance. You're going to pay to enroll in a college that's going to show you a YouTube video and charge you for it. Nothing is even going to be taught.
I'll send you the book for free, but it will have highlighted all the anti-Islamic teachings in it. It will send it to you for free.
But okay, so Doc mentioned this earlier, right? Early on, they talk about how there's a deposit fee that's mandatory, basically. So you can't get out of not giving that deposit fee. If you're a guy in black, like Mubarak, you can't wear braids. This is forbidden in the school or hair to your shoulders. And they want to return the girls back to the way of, the time of Prophet ﷺ and how the women dressed back then, but you cannot not allowed to wear niqab. So they don't really know what that is. But listen,
how do you have a Muslim university, right? And then you say, yeah, we're going back, we're going to establish the authentic Quran and Sunnah, and say you are not allowed to wear niqab.
Imagine that.
Oh yeah, and you're not allowed to wear thobes. If you see in there, you have to wear a tunic, and it can only come between the knee and the thigh. So you can't wear a thobe. It cannot go. They don't want you even possibly thinking about Wahhabism or whatever they want to call it. You need to basically be fit into a certain category that they want you to be. Whether that's Islamic, I don't know. We
got a comment that said, wasn't Hassan Ali wearing a thobe? Yes, he was. One of their faculty was violating the dress code.
But it says here, so I'm gonna read this real quick. This section, it says, the school reserves the right to postpone training in the event of an act of God, labor disputes, equipment failure, etc. Right? So listen, this is their out right here to scam y'all, because the act of God or whatever they're gonna claim, Uno is about to dip Pakistan and just leave. It's
labor dispute. That's when they stop paying their teachers, and the teachers are like, "I'm not teaching anymore."
So I get paid.
And yeah, exactly. It's so. It seems like they really put a lot of effort into this. Like they put so much effort into this, like this school manual. But it's so bad.
Okay, wait. What college transcript ever in the history of mankind that is actually legit would say all monies? Who all monies paid will be refunded? Come on. Come on, this is serious, bro. There's just no way. The IQOU, if you're allowed to college, assumes no responsibility for loss or damage to property or for personal injury which may occur on school grounds or during school tours. Why is this a clause we have right here? Because the building is run down and it's not been fixed up. All right. This is why this is a clause. You go there, you're gonna have freaking falling ceiling tiles on your head. Like, oh well, I mean, you came here, so this is on you. Like, what?
Yeah, you know there ain't no power. You know there ain't no power, no electricity running to that joint. First of all, a building like that. I mean, the electrical system is probably 50 years old. I mean, good luck plugging anything in without getting electrocuted. Whenever they do add power to the joint, I mean, the heating and cooling system, I'm sure it does not work. I mean, that's a whole that's $100,000 just to get a up to date heating and cooling system in that joint. I know that doesn't work. So I mean, you're going to be. I mean, if you've been to any TMOA masjid, they don't even put heating and cooling in them joints. Yeah. So you know there ain't no heating and cooling in that school. So I mean,
even if it did, it costs tens of thousands of dollars to heat up like a school building a month. Heat and electricity, like easy. They're not going to afford that.
There will be no on-campus anything. Mark my words. There won't be any on-campus. Maybe in the summertime.
Cafeteria.
They promised
a cafeteria.
They promised us
school,
a soccer field. They promised us a bunch of other stuff where you can go and have fun because there's all these amenities on the school. All right, so you have a cafeteria and a soccer field, but you can't wear shorts though because I mean, I guess we're supposed to play in your tunic. I guess.
Well, there's so many issues. Like you point out that like they mentioned this. Like I mean, it's a great idea to have a school that you incorporating into traveling to Muslim lands and seeing Muslim culture and stuff like that. That's actually a good idea. Yeah. But then like they shoot themselves in the foot and say, okay, we're going to visit all these Muslim lands, except where Islam actually started. Exactly. We're going to not go there.
Where's that?
We'll go to Pakistan and Egypt and Mali and maybe they go. But really, like we had some hope. Like when we first seen this, we were like maybe. Like they're gonna move away from the shirk teachings and move away from Jelani because they're not mentioning his name at all. Maybe they're just gonna teach like straight up Islam. But until we got to the bottom part where they actually started talking about the classes, and some of the classes are straight up just Mubarak Jelani's discourses, that's where we just lost like all like hope. Like nope, they're still continuing on with this farce. And so what I did is I went to the actual discourses of classes because these are some of the classes that they're teaching. Science of Quran, which Mubarak Jelani has his own discourse, and I just pulled out some of the notes I had directly from Mubarak Jelani's discourses, and this is for the people that don't know and for the people in TMOA. This is some of the anti-Islamic stuff that he teaches in his lectures. This is what this college is going to be about. So in Science of Quran, he says. He refers to the Gospel of Barnabas as being the real Injil, the real Bible, which every Muslim scholar has said it's a fabrication. There's so many it contradicts the Quran, and we know the real Injil would not contradict the Quran, right? So that's just one red flag. He tells a story about Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam coming to him in a group of people and speaking to them in Urdu, right? Speaking to them in Urdu. No,
that is such an outrageous claim. That is such an outrageous claim. He spoke Urdu. Like Urdu. You Pakistani Indians, y'all have to stop. There is listen. It's just like when he's like, oh, I was talked by Hazrat Ali. No, you weren't. Prophet Muhammad did not come talk to you in Urdu about. Why would he speak to you in Urdu instead of Arabic? Like just common sense. Common sense.
Then it's funny because then he goes in to talk about how when leaders become oppressors and they start living lives of luxury, and and he warns that like when this happens, the oppressor and the people that are oppressed actually will be destroyed by Allah. So people in TMWA got to think about that. Look at your leaders living in luxury, sitting on millions of dollars in their bank account. This is the same discourse or lecture that he swears on the Quran that Imam Mahdi is present in the world. The same discourse. Right? Yep. And he says, which is actually a good thing. He says, you can't trust any scholar, any peer or sheikh. You can't trust anybody, which you guys should really heed that advice. in dream interpretation, it's very funny because they're teaching this class on dream interpretation, and Mubarak Jalani says in his discourse that it's only a gift from Allah and you can't learn it, but they're going to teach a class on it.
They have the secrets.
Yeah. So, and then they actually have courses where they actually go through Tafsir Ma'arif Quran. And in this discourse of dream interpretation, Mubarak Jalani quotes from Ma'arif Quran and says that they're wrong. He says that the scholars that do the tafsir of Ma'arif Quran, that they're wrong. And he says they're wrong because what they quote is just Sharia. And that is perfect Sharia. But what he's teaching goes beyond Sharia.
Another claim that's outrageous.
Yeah. Goes what I'm teaching goes beyond Sharia. And we'll see later how he actually contradicts himself. He says that sheikhs are always, this is where he claims that, people say, oh, Mubarak Jalani never said that. He claims that, he's in touch with his talibs at all times. And he actually says that guidance given through dreams is actually better than regular, like going to school and learning from a sheikh and sitting with sheikhs and scholars. So for all you that are thinking about going to the school, don't go because your sheikh said, wait for him to come to you in a dream. He'll teach you better. Right. And then it's funny because this dream interpretation thing was like, it's like 2 decades old. And then he references IQOU University.
Dang, bro. Foresight.
and says, if you got a bachelor's degree from IQOU, then you can come get your master's degree. Well, they just started IQOU now, and they don't offer master's degree. He said this 20 years ago, that basically lying about this fake university that never existed. In the Irfan discourse, he quotes the fabricated hadith about Rasul being created from Allah's direct nur, quotes fabricated hadiths. He says that, so Mubarak, when you're reading the Quran or anything and Allah makes reference to the Ruhul Qudus, what is the Ruhul Qudus?
Ruhul Qudus,
the Holy Spirit.
This is Jibreel alayhi salam.
Okay, so according to Mubarak Jalani, and that's the understanding I had, and that's the understanding that I've learned from all of my teachers, and that's in all the tafsirs I read. But according to Mubarak Jalani, all the souls, human souls, were created from the Ruhul Qudus, and the Ruhul Qudus is Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. This is Mubarak Jalani's teachings. These are false Islamic teachings. He says multiple times that there can't, like, remember before, he said that the tafsir of Ma'arif Quran was wrong because they follow Sharia perfectly.
Yep.
Right?
Dare they?
And then here he says that you can't actually follow Tariqah until you follow Sharia, that you have to follow Sharia first. But according to him, I guess after you get to that point, then you can just abandon Sharia and go beyond it and do whatever you want. This is the same discourse that he teaches the yoga breathing, cover your face, hold your breath, bull crap, tie your knees up to your chest, hold your breath. Do? That's where he does this whole innovative practice. And it's funny because I had falsely said that Sheikh Abdul Qadir Jilani had spoke out against this, but I was wrong. It was actually Sultan Bahu, who in one of his books said, and he says the same name, the Habsi Dubs or whatever he calls it. He said, this practice is done by the wrongdoers and is useless. And people should stay away from such wrong practitioners of the religion. So this is what Sultan Bahu is saying about Mubarak Jalani and the stuff that he's teaching you. He talks about taking the people to the court of Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, this imaginary fictitious place. He refers to his multiple homes and properties that he has in the mountains. And get this one. He says Junaid, everybody knows Junaid, Rahimullah. He says he's the chief of Sufis. And then he quotes Junaid by saying that anybody claiming to be a Sufi or a Wali who runs after people, depriving them of their money and getting things from them, then he is worse than a beggar. So yes, Mubarak Jalani and your family, you guys are all worse than beggars, and you should not be claiming that any of them are Sufis or Walis. And this is the discourse where he explains the whole shirk concept of the 7 Sultan belief. And we already have plenty of stuff on that whole falsehood. He quotes the well-known fabricated hadith about seek knowledge, even if you have to go to China. He quotes it as a hadith. And this is where he says Allah is inside of us, and that we are inside of man. We are inside of Allah. And then he tells the lie about him being the chief custodian of Myanmar Shrine, which we know he wasn't. It was his cousin, right? And then he complains that, the government came and they took our land and property and they took all the money and gifts that people left. He's complaining about this. Why? Because this is what they would take.
Okay, wait. I thought that Alpha Bait weren't supposed to get gifts. So what about that, Mubarak Jelani?
They can accept gifts, but not charity.
Okay, that's what it was.
Yeah.
They can accept gifts left at shrines, I guess. So in the Ascent of Man, they have a course called the Ascent of Man or Reality of Man, whatever. He tells people's, and if anybody knows who Harun Yahya is, he refers people to go watch his videos. Right there, that statement should be enough for anybody that knows that you should not listen to a word that Sheikh Mubarak Jelani says. Harun Yahya is a quack, straight up quack, deviant. He started his own cult. I wish we had time to pull up a clip. Like he calls them like honey bunnies or something. Like basically has like models around it. He's just a straight up quack.
In his defense, originally he wasn't always a complete quack. He actually had in the beginning, Harun Yahya had some pretty good books, and some pretty good lectures and different stuff.
Then he wilded out.
some basics, just some basic stuff, and it was actually it was nothing crazy. And then just slowly but by surely, he just increased into the point where he just went completely off the rails, kind of like how Johnny did.
Okay, so hopefully maybe he's referring to his good stuff. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt on that one. Yeah. Interesting enough, he starts talking about the Trinity, and we already talked about how the Seven Sultan belief is pretty much the same thing as the Trinity. And then he says, anything that intelligence condemns can't be right. It's hocus pocus. It can't be right because of common sense. Think about that, TMOA members, and any non-TMOA members thinking about going to this college to actually learn anything. And then he says, and Mubarak, please correct me on this, but I've never heard this before. He says that Christians will go to paradise, even if they don't accept Islam, just as long as they follow the 10 Commandments. Is this an Islamic stance?
No. Rasulullah already said that anyone that has heard of Rasulullah and did not accept him as the last and final messenger and accept Islam, they would enter hell. So once Rasulullah is here, you're obligated to accept and follow him. Anyone who does not do that, they don't qualify for going to heaven. They will go to hell. This is part of aqeedah. This is part of the belief. We don't make it up. This is what Rasulullah said. And so for him to say something contrary to that, actually maybe he made a mistake. But if he said it and he believes it, this is definitely wrong. And if he knows what Rasulullah said and then is saying something opposite of that purposely, then it's kufr.
And it gets worse because then he starts talking about how there's a piece of Allah's uncreated being inside of us, that we have Allah inside of us. And this part got really like, he basically describes the process of how Allah is inside of us and compares it to, quote, like when a man and a woman get together. Allah. How could we refer to, first of all, you can't refer to Allah as being inside of us. And two, how can you make any comparison that involves Allah and you're talking about intercourse? What is wrong with this guy? For any of you guys to hear this stuff and try to make any excuses for this fool saying this stuff, something's wrong with you. Like this is just ludicrous. And then he says that people can achieve the ability of kun fayakun, like when Allah says be and it is, that people can walk around and be like be and it is, and like create like Allah does. Like this is, and And this story, if I ever have time and I have the chance to go through and collect all my notes through all the discourse, this is just like some notes on the side that I quickly grabbed. It's so much stuff. And this is, people can really see like, okay, yeah, I can see after doing his discourses why you left, because this stuff is crazy. He tells a story about how some individual was suddenly teleported to his living room, right? And then after he like got in the music, he was confused about how'd I get here. And then the sheikh was like, you know, that's how I do, or so I don't know what he said. But then he said the person basically went to his feet and was like, oh God, oh sheikh, if you want me to worship you, I will do that.
Oh yeah, Allah.
What kind of miracles from Allah cause human beings
People commit shirk.
to just turn to like this straight commit shirk? Like this, I mean, if this is even true, which I doubt it's true, I'm pretty sure it's just a lie made up. This is obviously work of some jinns trying to cause somebody to commit shirk, which they did.
You can tell it's not true because this man Jelani would have at least said the name of the person, like, oh, so and so. I teleport to.
Oh, he said the name. It was like Dr. Arab or some crap. Yeah,
okay.
Who knows if he's a real person or not? But I mean, he talks about this. The discourse he talks about how he teleports and beats up the jinn.
Teleports and beats up the jinn.
Yeah. So I mean, it's kind of redundant at this point. This is the type of stuff that you would be learning from this fake college. The one thing is that he talks about the Sakina to one of the books that they're going to teach is the Sakina to Awliya, which is written by Dada Shako, which we talked about previously on our show, which is he's a disciple of one of these Indian gurus who basically mixed Islam with Hinduism, Buddhism, Christianity, Sikhism, just mixed them all together. Like this is what they do in the subcontinent. And Dada Shako is one of his students. And this is the book that they're going to be studying, one of the books, and they're advanced courses nonetheless. So please, TMOA people, go to a real authenticated, accredited, at least Islamically accredited, established school that you actually learn real Islamic knowledge. We can give you those plenty of resources that you can choose from that are within your budget that you can learn from. Some are actually free. We have plenty of resources to send you to. And if you are not a TMOA member and you just happen upon our video because you're looking up stuff for the IQOU Theological College, stay away. Stay away. Stay away.
You know what? I got a quick let's do a quick exercise here. You know, let's give them throw them a bone. I mean, they're not going to take it, but still. So what would you suggest that they do? I mean, if their intentions were correct, I mean, they really wanted to provide some sort of education and also try to use it to also generate some honest, you know, cash flow, you know, for their community. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. You're providing a service for the people, for the Muslims, and in turn, you're spending your time and your effort and your energy, your life doing it. So to make a living doing that, there's nothing wrong with that. So my question to you and for Armor is that what would you suggest that they do based on the faculty and the level of education and scholarship that they have available? It doesn't seem like they have a lot of resources educational wise and shuyukh that are at their disposal. So what could they possibly do if they do want to start a college up or whatever? But what should they do? What steps should they be taking now based on what they have?
I have the perfect answer. I have the perfect answer. The perfect answer. And this answer will actually expose how they're frauds as well. Because I've looked into this before. Azhar University has a program. I forget the name of it, but we'll just call it a sister program, where you can establish an Azhar sister university in America, totally online. They will provide the teachers. And as long as you have, I think you just need graduates from Azhar to set it up in your country, and people could graduate from your university, actually get accredited Azhar degrees, and they will actually assist you with teachers and everything. So if they actually have graduates from Azhar, they could set up the same thing, do the same curriculum, same course load book as Azhar University, and these Azhar graduates would be like the intermediaries or like the people that kind of
Liaisons,
run it, the liaisons between the real Azhar University and people from TMOA or whoever attends this could actually go to school online through their courses, through their sister organization, and Azhar, when they graduate, would actually give them actually Azhar recognized degrees.
Yep.
Wow. Well,
That'll work.
I wasn't expecting that, but
That pretty much answers it, because I wasn't going to say any of that, Josh.
so they can legitimately be, actually providing their people with real legit Islamic education, but they're actually going, a scam route instead. I was gonna say they probably should just start with, start with what they do have. I mean, they had this huge ceremony about the one Hafiz of Quran who they produced. They actually didn't, but legend has it that he actually is a Hafiz of Quran now. So from there, you have one credentialed, qualified person with some qualifications in an Islamic area, which is Hafiz of Quran. I don't know if that sometimes you can go through the Hifz and not actually pass the tajweed at all. So there's just maybe some issue there. But if he also has usually you have to pass the tajweed first before they start letting you memorize. But the point is this: if he has some qualifications there, then you can start there. Start trying to produce, Hufaz. You can start your theological college there, because guess what? Every single scholar, shayukh, ulama in the history, the biggest and the brightest and the best ones, they all started with the Quran. They all started with the Quran, and then they memorized hadith, and then they went, on to fiqh and so forth and so on. So to start with the Quran, you could start there and then try to build out from there. But until you actually have some graduates, or even if you don't have graduates, if you just have people that have ijazahs in different areas, right? To get an ijazah, you have to actually sit in and be connected, or have a sheikh or shuyukh at your disposal who say, yes, okay, this person can teach this, this fiqh course, whether it's women's fiqh or the fiqh of jihad or fiqh of whatever, and say this person is qualified to teach, and then you go from there. But you seem like y'all don't have any of that. So I would start with the one thing you have said that you have is one hufaz, one hafiz of Quran, and go from there. That would be my suggestion.
They can also incorporate in there just Arabic, learn spoken Arabic, because because they have Arabic speakers that have lived over in Arabic countries. They can incorporate that in there. Start, like you said, but start simple. Start with what you got control over, and there's actually a market out there for that. Like, especially with there's no programs for like adults that want to like memorize the Quran. It's really usually directed at kids that have full time to like 7 days a week to spend to memory. There's no programs out there for adults that have limited time. Most of TMWA learners, Islamic learners, are going to be in the older ages that have like jobs and different things. So like you have a market there. But yeah, but the big thing should be is that you guys have to just let go of this Jelani stuff. You have to let go of it, because if we didn't see any of that Jelani stuff on there, we probably might even be like supporting you guys. Like, go learn basic Islam, after we confirm that you guys aren't teaching any. But still, like, get rid of all this Jelani stuff. You guys have some good ideas. You guys have some smart people. The idea of going to and traveling and different things, but you have to get rid of this whole TMOA bullcrap.
And you're really already halfway, actually pretty much like 98% of the way have erased him from your everything. He's not mentioned anywhere. I mean, you really are, it's clear you're trying to distance yourself from him. So just do it all the way. I mean, really what you really need to do is you need to tell the people, your own people, your team people, listen, We were all caught up. He was not who he said he was, nor was he who we thought he was. But Islam is not a person. Islam is the religion of Allah, and which was taught by the messenger, not by anyone else. So as long as we have access to that, we're going to be good. We need to learn that and go forth with that. You don't need to actually, depend on Jilani or his legacy or his order or his fictitious mission or any of that at all. You can erase that completely from your repertoire. Just tell the people, hey, listen, we got, okay? It's not part of our thing anymore, but we're going to teach Islam and we're going to try to do our best at that. And I'm not saying maybe, perhaps, but I guarantee you, if you are sincere, Allah will bless your efforts and will make it fruitful for you, whether it's immediate or might take a little time, but definitely whether it's in this life and or in akhirah, you will see the results of it if the sincerity is there. If the sincerity is not there, it is going to haunt you for the remainder of your lives, and you'll never are going to be comfortable in it. It never will be successful for you. And then in the afterlife, you'll have to pay for all the fraud that you delivered to the people instead of the true, authentic Islam in which you should have been doing. So may Allah protect you and us from that. I mean,
my solution was they're kind of already doing this, but by having this be an open college, and inviting like not TMOA folks to the college. If you guys are hell bent on actually teaching Islamic stuff, ingratiate yourself with local Islamic communities. Local Islamic communities, they have folks who are educated, right? Who are willing to come and teach maybe a class here or there on certain things, because as you can tell from the R2F show, we have many different people that are great at many different things. There's some people who are expert on like hadith, some Quran, this, that, and third. So if you guys ingratiate yourselves, because you're, as Mubarak mentioned, you guys were moving away from Mubarak Jilani, whether you publicly admitted it or not. The entire curriculum, they had an EGM one time. It didn't even say his name. It just said EGM. It didn't say his name. His name is nowhere to be seen on the entire. The only thing close to that is President Jilani Onur. That's it. So you guys are already, whether it's consciously or subconsciously, moving away from this, right? Make the effort to now, okay, listen, we are Muslims. Everyone's Muslim, alhamdulillah, right? Incorporate yourself with other Muslims now, because then you can make connections. This is Dr. So-and-so. This is Dr. So-and-so. These people are actual doctors. You can pay them, right? And they can come teach you certain things, because back in the day, before people had to go to schools and stuff, they learn from the person, right? So you can incorporate that into your school. And also, listen, you're going to have to change location. No one is driving from Lynchburg or Richmond all the way to Charlotte Courthouse, Racisville to go and teach there in the little racket jacket you have going on. It's not happening. So either move the school to Lynchburg, maybe Farmville or Richmond in Virginia, and then start from there. That is the best course of action for y'all. All right. You're already on the path there. Nor you have the money. If you want this to be successful, fork over some of that money you have. Because it's $5 million, but that's only in Pakistan. Fork over the money you have some over here in America. God knows how much that is. Yeah. So get to it.
That's a good point that you bring up, because if they really wanted to have their school be successful, we pride our group, our R2F group, on it all the time, that we have different opinions, different personalities. We don't agree on everything. We argue about things. We debate. That's healthy. You guys, like your board, your faculty, your staff, whatever, you should have people that are not all TMOA. There should be outside people that could be telling, hey, no, we shouldn't be doing this, or you shouldn't be doing that. You guys need differences of opinions. That way you guys can actually put out a good product. And maybe you would respect these people when they're telling you oh, wait, your sheikh said what? Oh yeah, take that book out of the curriculum. We're not teaching that. Let's teach correct Islam.
And you'll see that as a mark of a lot of successful organizations, businesses or whatever. They will have an advisory board that might not necessarily be part of the staff, or just like a group that kind of is like a what's the word I'm looking for? Where they kind of look at certain things, certain policies, certain things you want to implement, and just kind of look it over and make sure, okay, yeah, this is on the up and up. This is Islamically, it's okay. Educationally, it's okay. You know, politically, it's okay. Whatever. But like an advisory board, that's not just, you know, an echo chamber of your people. You know, that's kind of an outside entity that's not going to be just not going to be influenced by or strong armed by certain people within the organization. Sometimes you need to have that to where they run it through it and they give you their honest opinion, and they're not on the on the take or on the dole, and they're not going to be influenced by, some sort of favoritism or some sort of friendships or different things like that. At least they're not supposed to be. So that's another thing that you do. I know that might seem foreign to the TMOA style of things, where it's all based on nepotism. It's all based on who you know. It's all based on, okay, you committed this crime for me. Now I'm going to turn the other way for other crimes and all this, that, and other. It's a better way of doing it. I mean, it's 2022. The year doesn't even matter. We're Muslims, so the level of transparency and honesty should be very, very high, especially for a theological Islamic college. It should be very, very, very high. So you should have that extra layer of checks and balances to make sure everything is on the up and up, if you want it to be successful. And it would increase the chances that Allah would bless the efforts, because you're going that extra mile to try to make sure that, what you're doing is correct, by bringing in people from the outside to kind of look over what you're doing and say, okay, yeah, this looks good Islamically.
I think that's about it. I think we got it covered. We went over a half hour, but alhamdulillah. I don't have a closing, so
we only had
cold
a
close?
few questions that weren't
we got
really
questions.
like,
okay.
The only questions we had was like, do you think you can possibly wear jeans after school? No, I don't think you'll be able to wear jeans, Amina. Sorry. And we had someone asked if the seventh Sultan is teaching any courses. He's a Sheikh of Sheikh. I see he has a hobby in car mechanics and reggae. So I don't think Noor is going to be teaching any classes or courses as the Mahdi or the seventh Sultan. I don't think he probably knows about this at all, or Noor College for that matter either. So
I wonder, and it's something for people to think about with those lectures, because they talk about, Tariqa and Tasawwuf, and Tariqa and Tasawwuf and Sufi, they have their ways of doing things. And even still, it imitates regular Islamic stuff, where that you have to be authorized to teach or carry on the teachings and all that. They call it silsila, right? Ijaza, silsila. It's pretty much the same thing. Who is authorized besides Noor to teach any of Mubarak Jelani's teachings? So is she going to be teaching all these courses that they have? Like, she's going to be like, this is your teacher. Anyway, just think about these things, you guys. I know some of you TMY people be hyped because it's something new. Those people that are desperate to try to find any source of education for their kids because they can't send them to public school and there's no school in the lands, and they're going to try to sign them up for this thing. And
wait. You're not able to send the kids to the school unless you have a high school diploma, a GED, or a high school equivalency exam. You have to be over the age of 16 or have like a parent's signature. So if you don't have an American secular diploma or equivalency thing, you can't come to school. So it's not for you.
That's probably what Noor Academy is. It's going to be for the youngins.
Okay.
That's the new one probably. But I think we're all set. Does anybody have any
Hang on, there was a couple questions in here.
Oh yes, okay, go ahead.
Let me see. Let me go to the top. Let me see. Jeans.
We just got confirmation that Qasim didn't graduate. He finished the high school prep for Azhar, and that took him 8 years to do.
I'm about to say, because listen, no disrespect to Qasim, but listen, I've known this man my whole life. That man has been overseas longer than I've been alive, basically, and he has not graduated from Azhar yet. What are you doing, Akhi?
Just living. And it's not, we're not trying to insult you guys. Like, you guys could be over here just living your lives, and like, I don't have a degree from Azhar or anything. Same. But I'm not claiming I do either, or letting people say that I have one. I'm not buying the Azhar kufis and wearing them to the
Bakari
Eids and acting like I'm a graduate.
Off topic, but do any of you guys have understanding of the Hissar done for the Halka and Saifur Rahman, the magic circle TMOA members draw around themselves? Where did this originate?
Well,
Okay, go ahead. Because I don't.
from what
I was just gonna say I don't know, but I know one thing is for sure. Drawing that circle, blowing on your fingers, and making the circle and all that. I have in all my years of studying. I have never seen any ahadith or any shuyu or any scholars talk about how in making dua or doing any ibadah where that is mentioned that Rasulullah did it or anything like that. There's only one instance of in Quran, in the tafsir of Quran, when in Surah Al-Jinn, when Rasulullah was going to speak to the jinns, and I believe it's Abdullah ibn Mas'ud who was going to follow him. And I'm paraphrasing the story. I'm not getting the whole thing, but the point was he told him to stand inside of a circle that he made because it was because of the going in amongst the jinns or whatever. It was dangerous for him. But that was not like something that he did for an act of ibadah, and there was no reference to exactly what formula, what he said or did or whatever. But he told him to stand.
The hadith right here. It's in Tirmidhi and Ahmed, and it's classified as Sahih. And it says Rasulullah performed the Isha prayer, then he left, taking the hand of Abdullah ibn Mas'ud until he took him to the wide valley of Mecca. He sat him down, then drew a line around him and said, "Do not go beyond your line, for indeed some men shall come to you, but do not speak to them, for they shall not speak to you." Then Rasulullah went to where he wanted to go, and while I was sitting within the line, some men who appeared as if they were from Azut, or dark people, with black hair and bodies came to me. I did not see their nakedness nor their covering. They ended up before me, but they did not pass the line. Then they turned toward the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So that's the hadith. It has, like, you see that Rasulullah didn't say do this and start dhikring and do a halqa. He didn't say do any of that. He was really doing it to protect him from these jinns. So the question you have to ask yourself is why, when you're doing any type form of worshiping of Allah, that you have to protect yourselves from jinns? Do you do that before you make salat? Do you do that before you read Quran? Like, obviously it's an innovation.
And because think of this, usually when you do ibadah, when you call upon Allah, when you recite Quran, it repels the jinns, right?
Yes.
They flee, shaitan, and they flee from around you. So what is it that your sheikh is instructing you to do that is going to bring the jinns to you, to the point where you need to do something extra to protect yourself, otherwise they're coming to you? This shows that it's the opposite of what the pure ibadah from Allah and His Messenger is, because it's doing the opposite. The jinns and stuff flee from you when you're actually reciting Quran. They don't like it. At least the bad ones do. But for some reason, you need a jinn protection pack whenever you're doing something that these Sufi Jones prescribe. So, and
we have authentic stuff from the Sunnah of how to get rid of jinns. Ayatul Qursi is a big one. Surah Al-Baqarah keeps shaitan out of your house for 3 days. We have stuff from the Sunnah. So again, for anything, turn to the Quran and the Sunnah, authentic, to do anything. You're worried about jinns attacking you, then do what Rasulullah said to do to keep jinns from attacking you, which pretty much boils down to be a good Muslim, and they'll leave you alone. Inshallah.
I think we're done.
All right.
I'll see you on Friday. Yep. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون والسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين وآخر دعوانا